I am not a financial advisor, and I never give financial advice on this channel. 100% of this content is for entertainment purposes only. Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. It's Lane here with MetaShackle. I just wanted to go over a couple things really quickly that I'm seeing in the Bitcoin as well as the XRP charts. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into the video. So taking a look at the Bitcoin chart, you can see the price traded up, came back down, and utterly collapsed over the weekend, falling down into this level here, where this bullish BTC held the price very nice. We didn't even have a candle body close down in here. That's great. That shows a lot of strength in this area. There's a lot of buyers here. Price then traded up here. We saw this really deep draw on liquidity right here, moving up into the run that we have seen today so far. Now, one thing that we want to stay mindful of is the fact that even though we're trading back above the handle's lower trend line of the cup and handle pattern that I've been talking about for many weeks, once price came down, broke below the equilibrium zone here, it came up, tested the upper quadrant right here, then was subsequently rejected right here off of the equilibrium line, which is the green line in the center of the equilibrium zone. After price came down, rebounding up here, we also just got rejected off that exact same point on this run that we've seen this morning. Another thing to keep an eye on is the fact that this bottom does not look like what we would normally see. Typically, we would want to see a long leg doji or a candle similar to this one digging down into liquidity, and we're just not seeing that here. So to me, this is not the optimal bottom that we would see before a move like that to the upside. But we have formed this bullish BTC right here on the 4-hour, which if we do get rejected anywhere in this area moving back downward, this right here would be the area to watch, as it's very likely we would see a reversal off of this, giving us more momentum, as it's very likely that we have a lot of buy orders laddered in this area for people who panic sold over the weekend and now are regretting their choice, having to buy back in at higher levels or right around the same levels that they initially sold. This BTC is centered at around that 102,800 level. This bearish SIBI right here on the 4-hour is still holding, as we have not seen a candle body close through it, although it has been severely weakened. This SIBI right here on the 4-hour, which is centered right about where the equilibrium line is, has acted as resistance successfully 2 times thus far. So we definitely want to keep an eye on this. And if price does come back down, getting rejected, this bullish BTC right here is going to be the area to watch for a reversal. Because if this area fails, the only thing we have below us to hold us up is the exact same BTC that held us up previously. So if it does bring price down, we want to see this hold. We want to see a reversal off of this, because it would likely give us more momentum moving upwards as those limit buy orders start getting filled. And we want to stay above this handle lower trend line because we want to see the cup and handle breakout come to fruition, taking us to higher prices. For additional information and exclusive perks, do consider joining me on Patreon. Taking a look at the XRP chart, it looks similar in price action, but is different in formation. So we had that exact same move with price trending up, getting rejected, forming this bearish order block right here. Price came down, experienced the exact same collapse that Bitcoin did, coming down here into the liquidity zone, turning back around. We got a very similar candle to what we saw in Bitcoin here, and price traded up and is very close to breaking this bearish SIBI right here on the 4-hour, although it's currently trading well below the equilibrium zone. So at this point, it's a lot weaker than Bitcoin is. But on this chart, XRP formed 2 bullish BTCs. One here centered at about that 2048 level, and a second one centered here at about $1.993. So if price does come down for whatever reason to retest, it's very likely that we could see a test off of that BTC right there. If that breaks, we could see it come down through this and retest off of this one before moving upwards. But we have two areas to watch right here for potential reversals to the upside if price does come back down. Ultimately, what we're going to want to see is the price getting up above this shelf right here, getting above the Gaussian channel, and taking a shot at this bearish SIBI centered at about 227.4 and this bearish order block centered about the 231.5 level. It would be an incredible sign to get up over this previous low right here, as that would be a break of structure and give us a shot into this equilibrium zone. But as it stands, even if price does turn around, keep your eyes on these bullish BTCs right here as points of reversal, because if they fail, it's very likely that we will come back down to this bullish order block, which is right around that 189.9 level, sweeping these previous lows. So if these hold, we wouldn't have to worry about that. But if they don't, we would definitely be coming back down to the order block. And just like Bitcoin, this isn't a typical bottom formation that we're seeing here. Generally, when you look at these bottom formations, what you see are these candles more similar to this one or this one. But we're just not seeing that real deep draw on liquidity that we normally see, which is a little bit concerning. Even though this candle here dug in a little bit, I would have expected to see a more singular candle digging in much deeper previous to this breakout. Granted, this breakout was spawned basically from good news coming out of the Middle East. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to go over really quick. Keep your eye on these. They could be important. It doesn't mean that the price will come back down, but if it does, it's very likely that we could get a bounce off of these areas, which if you miss the run could potentially be good areas for entry, but you should be aware that entering on these at this point in the game could be very risky. So if you do try something like that, make sure and run a tight stop loss, because the last thing you want to do is get your order filled right here at the top of this BTC only to get your stop loss hit here 20 minutes later. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Have a great day.